So just FYI, this video might be kind of long based on the fact that I have 11 questions here, and I'm gonna answer them in as much detail as I possibly can for your value. Number one, how much? I get this question quite a bit. It's pretty common, and it's hard to define how much. If I was to ask you how much is an HVAC unit or how much is a plumbing job, it depends, right? It depends on what you need done primarily. So my response typically to that is it honestly depends on what we're doing for you. We don't have one single thing that we sell, but I will tell you that our entry-level programs range from $250 and they can range up to $5,000. In between, plenty of options, but just giving you a ballpark range, that's the best I can do in the sense of without knowing more information about your company and what your needs are specifically. What should my marketing budget be? This is an excellent question, very common because it can be confusing figuring out your numbers and how much to allocate. Luckily, I've created a much more detailed video of this in depth going over our budget calculator that we give to you if you have this question and you'd like to do this yourself. And on a napkin, back of the napkin math, you essentially have to lay out what your projected revenue will be for this year, break that down, monthly amount, then take either 10 to 15% of that and allocate that towards marketing as your marketing budget, and then allocate 80% of that to digital marketing. So that's how we would break that down. I am not gonna do the math right now because I would give you incorrect numbers. In a general sense, that should give you a pretty accurate description. And like any other business is math, business is numbers. You have to know where you're looking to get to, which is very different for everybody. One contractor, one company might want to scale to $10 million in the next 3 years. Well, that's going to be a lot more aggressive marketing approach. That's going to require a lot more aggressive marketing than someone who's just looking to double their business to $2 million a year. Hope that answers your question pretty well. In a general, hope that answers your question. I will link that video above or in the description. Number 3, what is the best way to start marketing if I have little to no marketing budget? This is a pretty common question we get from guys who are just starting out, and completely valid question. Luckily for you guys, there is plenty of options that you can leverage and utilize in your company in order to generate leads for free or close to free, as little as $10 to $15 a lead, or an HVAC installation, which could seriously yield you a high return. What I specifically recommend is outlined in our entry-level course. It goes over how to optimize your Google My Business listing, how to start getting reviews and testimonials to your Google My Business listing and examples of that. It goes over quite a lot more in the course, but the two main things that I would recommend if you have a very limited marketing budget, say under $500 or under $1,000 a month, I would recommend that you have a very targeted, very specific Google Ads campaign or a Facebook ads campaign, because both of those can yield very inexpensive leads, especially Facebook. So Facebook and Google My Business are the main two that I would recommend there. How long does it take to see results? This is also a very common question, and again, it depends. It depends if we are designing a website for you, it depends if we're running SEO for you or running an ads campaign for you. But in general, what we typically say to our clients is between 4 to 8 weeks for a website build out, 2 to 3 months for significant ranking changes. In 95% of cases, we actually guarantee this, but in some cases, there's extremely competitive markets, such as if you're trying to rank in the biggest city in your state and you're in a highly populated state, there's tons of competition. There's people spending $10,000+ a month on just SEO. And it comes down to how much can you spend and how can we utilize the budget that we have the most competitively to rank you as quickly as possible for that primary keyword. But for the other keywords and other low-hanging fruit, so to speak, 2 to 3 months, we've had clients go from page 10 plus to being page 1. Leads and PPC, if we're running ads for you or if we're in a pay per lead agreement, those results are immediate. We'll have ads coming in as little as the time it takes for us to get a funnel put together and the ads running, which can be as little as a week. How many leads will I get? This is a very common question as well. We aren't lead vendors, so we don't have a bucket full of leads we can just sell to you. And the reason behind that is we aren't Home Advisor. We're not trying to be Home Advisor. In many cases, we partner with you and your company to build internal lead generation systems that help build the growth and the value of your business, as opposed to us just selling you leads. With that being said, it really depends on if we're doing organic for you or if you're doing organic yourself, like I was mentioning before with Google My Business pages or just managing social media pages on your own. It depends on the effort that you are putting in to generate the traffic in the organic, to generate the traffic needed to generate the leads that you're looking for. It also depends on your ad budget, and if it depends on your ad budget and how much you're willing to put into ads as well. What guarantees do you have? Very common question here. Unlike many companies, we do offer guarantees on most of our services. We offer a guarantee on when we will have X complete. So we guarantee that we will have a website complete for you if you're signing up with us on one of our primary packages in under 12 weeks, or it's completely free. We have SEO guarantees, so we guarantee that you will have a significant ranking increase or a ranking increase in general in 3 months or less, as well as PPC guarantees. I'm not going to get into this here, but we will offer a guarantee based on the budget that you have and our expertise and what we know about our numbers thus far with working with other clients, and give you a lead guarantee based on that. Should I still do digital marketing if I'm not good with technology? Yes. The reason behind that is, it should be obvious, that digital marketing has been growing exponentially for the last 10 years, and the people who haven't adapted to digital marketing, who don't have a Facebook page, who don't have a Google page, they're pretty much invisible to most of their prospects and to most of their customers. They've died out. The same is going to be said for those who can't adapt to the newest forms of digital marketing and showing your customer or presenting yourself to the customer in the most professional and comprehensive manner, I'll say. I will say that is why we offer a done-for-you service. If you don't want to touch digital marketing at all, we can handle everything from the content generation to the website. We can be your one-stop shop for digital marketing. What is SEO? SEO, well, this could go on for 3 hours, to be honest, if I can really get into this. But SEO, in a general sense, to make this clear and concise, is search engine optimization. It is the process of being found on a search engine. Google is the largest search engine. There's multiple assets by which you can be found. Number one is your Google My Business page. So when you type in any given keyword, which is what any customer of yours is typing into Google to find something or find an answer to a question they have, for instance, HVAC services in Dallas, Texas is a keyword. When you type that keyword into Google, there's going to be ads at the very top. There's going to be the organic listing directly below it with the maps. And then there's also going to be the websites that have ranked organically listed just below that. SEO is the process by which you have a website that's new or that's been around for a while but isn't being found on page 1 of Google. I don't want to say manipulating, but anchoring your website's pages with given keywords, as such as HVAC services in Dallas, Texas, showing up on page 1 of Google. Again, very overcomplicated here, or understated how how complicated it can be, but that is SEO in the most general sense. What exactly are you doing for me when you do SEO? You being us. Here at HVAC Marketing Experts, we like to keep things transparent. I will tell you, we're not a company that says, yeah, we'll get you on page 1. And then 6 months down the line, you're asking yourself, wait a minute, where's my website being found? And there's no transparency. That's not what we do. We provide very, very detailed, accurate reporting and analytics tracking to you when you sign up with us, so you can see exactly what we're doing on a month-to-month basis. What we're doing on a month-to-month basis includes such things as link building. I'm not going to get into that here because this isn't a directly SEO video, but link building, optimizations to your website, content writing, citation building, and there's a few more. But those are ongoing month-to-month things that every company you see on page 1 of Google is doing, especially for a competitive keyword. It's honestly it's a marathon to get to the top of Google, and once you're there, you can stick for a while, but it's important to be doing these maintenance things in order to stay there. Do I need a website for my business? You don't need one per se. If you're just starting out, it would make sense to allocate your budget to something that's more direct response, that's going to get you leads more immediately than just into a website that could be a hindrance to your budget and to your growth if you're spending the most necessary dollars to your website. With that being said, once you have an established business, maybe you're doing anywhere between $10,000 to $30,000 a month or $10,000 to $50,000 a month, and you're really looking to scale more quickly, a website is an absolute necessity. And I'm going to give you 2 reasons why. Number 1, it's the hub of your business. It's the hub of where your customers are not only going to find you online. If they find you on Facebook or if they find you on Google, more likely than not, they're going to go to your website to find out more about your company and if you're credible in their eyes. So it's extremely important from a reputation point of view. It's also very important because it's helping your company build an asset. When I say asset, I mean building something that's going to be generating you a high return over time, and especially over the long term. With the process of SEO, I like to explain this to clients. You're building up essentially a piece of virtual real estate. You're building up something that's going to be generating you leads for years and years to come if you put the time and if you really put the budget into it and you start working with the right company. You can have an asset that's essentially generating you leads enough to sustain a 7 or 8 figure business if you're ranking for enough keywords and you have enough credibility and authority with Google to sustain that level of a business, which can be life-changing for many. That's why we preach SEO in an integrated package so much, because at the end of the day, it helps you build an asset for your business instead of just spending money on leads, which essentially are just here and there. You're not building something that's generating you a return over the long term. Last question. I'm not sure how long you've been at this, but what is the best type of marketing to do for my plumbing and or HVAC company? Another very common question. Best is subjective, really. It depends. What we recommend, comprehensive approach, not only because it saves you, the business owner, the headache and the hassle of going out and finding different service providers and trying to stitch them all together and have them work together for your company. It also helps you as a business owner have the peace of mind of just having one service provider, one marketing company essentially, who's partnered with you in order to help you generate these assets like I mentioned. So hopefully that was very valuable for you. I get these questions quite a bit, so you likely had at least one question in your head answered if you're considering working with us or if you've seen our site and you've seen my content. I'm going to be creating more videos like this, going over additional questions, specifics of our packages and what we're offering compared to the market. I wholeheartedly believe that we are offering the most competitively priced as well as comprehensive marketing package for HVAC companies and honestly most local service businesses in the United States right now. And I'm extremely excited to potentially get on a call with you and explain what we do a little bit more and see if we're a good fit. So with that being said, have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.